Good evening, guys. Welcome to the North American Sports Report. This is Billy DiNapoli on Monday, October 13th, 2025. Hope everybody's well on this holiday, whatever you want to call it, Indigenous Peoples Day, Columbus Day. I don't know what you call it. And happy Thanksgiving to everybody in Canada who watched watch Montreal defeat Ottawa in the CFL Thanksgiving game today, 24-10. For those up north. Anyway, couple of headlines. College football. James Franklin has been fired by Penn State, finally. You saw that coming. You cannot lose 2 weeks in a row when you're over a 24-point favorite to teams like UCLA and Northwestern and keep your job. I'm honestly surprised it took this long. But James Franklin is out after 12 years at Penn State. Coach Franklin did not have a good record against top 10 opponents. I think he was 4-21 lifetime against teams in the top 10. Listen, he always got you there. I mean, they won the Fiesta Bowl last year. They made it to the playoffs, but they never seemingly win the big game, and this year they're underachieving. And James Franklin is out at Penn State as head coach. Another honorable mention here, which I forgot to mention during our college show on Saturday, and I heard about it, my right and wrong segment. Billy, you forgot to give a shout out to Texas Tech. The Texas Tech Red Raiders are 9th ranked in the country, and after the AP poll comes out tomorrow, I would imagine they'll be even higher than that. 6-0 for the first time in their history. Texas Tech Red Raiders. Shout out to Texas Tech, who is 6-0. Going to dig right into the NFL yesterday. Again, another day of some heartbreak. Heartbreak in the pick department for me. 2-3 yesterday. 2-3. We basically, if the Jacksonville Jaguars just kick an extra point instead of going for 2, I'd have been 4-1. I had the Jags in the pack in a teaser, which I lost because the game finished 20-12 instead of 20-13. I've got to ask you people. I don't know what it is with head coaches, but on 3 occasions yesterday, I saw head coaches go for 2 when all they had to do was kick the extra point and they would have been within 7. Instead, they go for 2, like in the Jacksonville game. Coach Liam Cohen goes for 2 he could have been down 20-13. Now he puts himself down 20-12, and he needs a 2-point conversion next time he scores a touchdown to tie. I saw the Bengals do that also. And they got away with it because they converted their 2-point try, but it makes no sense. I don't understand what these head coaches are looking at. You do not go for 2 points when an extra point puts you within 7. Yeah, I don't know what these head coaches are thinking. But anyway, that cost us that one. We had the LA Chargers minus 3.5. That was a loser. Our best pick of the day, we had the Rams and Colts in a teaser. And we had the Pats and the Niners in a teaser, which also lost. We also had the Rams straight. That was our 2-3. The Pats look fantastic with Drake May. If you're a Patriot fan, you have got to be just thrilled at their continued progression. Yesterday would be a perfect opportunity for a young team coming off a big win as they had against Buffalo to lay an egg in New Orleans. Because New Orleans, as bad as they've been in all these games. They're not getting blown out. I mean, the Saints are they're in all these games. And it would have been a perfect spot for the Patriots to stub their toe yesterday. But they didn't. They went in and took care of business. Drake May throws for 265 yards and 3 more touchdowns. I mean, he's not turning the ball over. He's also starting to find some weapons. All of a sudden, it's not just Stephon Diggs who he has to go to. He's getting this Butte, 5 catches, 93 yards, and also Demario Douglas, 3 for 71, has developed a little connection with May. But now he's got Butte and Douglas to go with Diggs. As we said the other day, that's what great quarterbacks do. All of a sudden, they turn average players into big-time players. They make players around them better. And I'll tell you what, you got to feel real good if you're a Patriot fan. Pats are now 4-2, 25-19 over the Saints yesterday. I'll tell you another coach who shouldn't be employed for much longer is Aaron Glenn of the New York Jets. The Jets lose 13-11 in the game in London yesterday morning. And the Broncos, they shouldn't be feeling too great about themselves either. Their offense looked putrid. The Jets had a total of negative 10 yards passing. Negative 10 yards passing. I mean, I don't know what else to say. And you listen to Glenn in postgame, and it sounds like he has no answers. I mean, he's got no answers. I mean, Justin Fields was 9 of 17 for 45 yards yesterday. When you factor in the sack yardage, the Jets were negative 10 passing yards. They had 87 total yards of offense in the game. That is absolutely disgraceful for an NFL football team. That's disgraceful. Disgraceful. 0-6, the Jets. They are clearly the undisputed worst team in football, without a doubt. What other highlights yesterday? Colts-Cardinals was a good game. I mean, I swear, the Cardinals look better with Jacoby Brissett at quarterback than they do with Kyler Murray. I mean, 31-27, the Colts hold on. They were actually one of my winners in a teaser, but they did not cover the complete spread. But I had the Colts and the Rams, as well as having the Rams straight. I tell you what, if the Buccaneers don't kick a late field goal yesterday to win 30-19, and the Jaguars just kick the extra point instead of going for 2, I go 5-0. That's the fine line in gambling, my friends. That's the fine line. Listen, fortunately, kids, I'm just a responsible small wagerer. I'm never, and I encourage you all to always gamble responsibly. This is all in good fun. Obviously, this is how the NFL became a multi-billion-dollar industry. I know a lot of us still just enjoy to watch the great athletes in the games, and they don't need to place any wager, and that's great. I often would do that, but it is fun. We love ourselves a little bit of FanDuel and DraftKings. All things in moderation, kids. Even caffeine. Okay. Rams over the Ravens 17-3. I mean, the Ravens without Lamar Jackson and their banged up defense. They actually hung in there. They played pretty good defensively. But they have no shot. I mean, they have no shot without Lamar. They're 1-5 now. The Ravens are they're in trouble. I mean, you could say for them, it could be over. It could be over for them. They are now 1-5. That's pretty much it for the Ravens. Matthew Stafford efficient yesterday, but nothing spectacular. The Ravens defense hung in there. He was 17 of 26 for 181 and a touchdown. Kyron Williams, only 50 yards on the ground, 13 carries. Nothing spectacular. The Rams did just enough to win. The Ravens couldn't move the ball at all. They actually pulled Cooper Rush in the second half and put in Tyler Huntley, who, the two of them combined for 140 yards passing. They were sacked 5 times collectively, rushed through a pick. It was a disaster for the Ravens. The Rams did what they had to do. That's all you could say. They did what they had to do. They moved to 4-2. Seahawks, Jaguars, one of the premier games of the day. And you know what? Seattle just proven that they could beat you in all different ways. You want a shootout? Great. You want to play smash mouth football? We can do that too. We can run it. Darnold, an efficient day again. 295 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks, 16 of 27. They didn't run the ball that much, but again, Sam Darnold, he looks like the first round draft pick that he was. He looks like the first round draft pick that everybody thought he would be. And Other than a couple of bad games late in the season, he looked great last year for Minnesota, and he's looked great thus far this season. Good for him. Smith and Jigba continues to shine. He had 8 catches for 162 yards. That's becoming an all-star combo with those two in Seattle. Cooper Kupp added 2 for 40. Listen, they got skill. The biggest issue for the Seahawks 2 weeks ago was they were missing 3/4 of their starting corners. They're getting healthier in the secondary. Seattle is a very, very well-rounded team. Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys let their former running back Rico Dowdle rush for over 170 yards. Let's get the exact numbers for Dowdle. You can't blame Dak Prescott. Guy seems like he throws for 3 touchdowns or more every game. Prescott 25 of 34, 261, 3 TDs, no picks. George Pickens again had a monster game. Pickens has 9 catches for 168 yards. He's been one of the best wide receivers in the league. But the defense is the absolute worst defense in the NFL, hands down, and on pace to be historically one of the worst defenses of all time in NFL history. Nice job, Jerry Jones. Yeah, you marched this roster out on the field. Yeah, you know what? I wish somebody would just take Dak Prescott. Save Dak Prescott. We need like a campaign to save Dak Prescott. You put that guy on the Niners, put him on the Rams, put him on the Chargers, he'd probably go to the freaking Super Bowl. Yet he's stuck. He's stuck in Dallas with that moron Jerry Jones. They got a good offense, no doubt. They got a great offense. Their defense is terrible. The Cowboys are not going to make the playoffs. They'll be lucky. Okay, they got a tie now. They're going 7-9-1. You can't beat Carolina. I know they're improving, but I mean, they let Rico Dowdle ran for, hold on a second here. We got to get these exact numbers. They're that embarrassing. Rico Dowdle had 183 yards rushing and 56 yards receiving yesterday. This guy had nearly 250 all-purpose yards and stuck it to his former team. I mean, they couldn't stop a nosebleed. The Dallas Cowboys, unfortunately, are wasting some of the golden years of Dak Prescott's career. 30-27 the final there. Cowboys had every chance. They couldn't get a stop. I think the Panthers scored on 6 out of 8 possessions. If you can't get more than 2 stops in an entire football game, which has been the norm for the Cowboys, and you're screwed. I mean, you're screwed. Okay. What else do we got here? Well, kids, we got the chat up tonight on YouTube. Also, remember to subscribe to the North American Sports Report on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook. You can scan the QR code in the bottom right of your screen to follow us on Facebook, to subscribe to us on YouTube. You can also send us a little donation on Venmo and Cash App if you like. It helps a great deal. Okay, what else did we have yesterday of note in the NFL? We're going to go over tonight's games too. Oh, another honorable mention. Sorry to quickly change the subject, but like I said, I always get my right or wrong segment is to correct stuff that my listeners think that I didn't pay proper attention to or got wrong. So I had somebody else say, "Hey Billy, you didn't mention the Seattle Mariners. Here's a team that won a deciding game 5 in 15 innings. You didn't mention." I did mention they won. But then they go to Toronto the very next day and they win 3-1. Cal Raleigh hits another homer, and the Mariners are up 1-0 on Toronto in the ALCS after having to travel after winning a 15-inning extra inning game. So kudos to the Seattle Mariners, who are now up 1-0 in the ALCS. You know what, actually, let's check on the Dodgers. I think they are playing right now. They are playing. Let's check on the Dodgers. Oh, excuse me. The Mariners are now The Mariners in the top of the first. Okay, the game just started. Are already up 3-0 on the Blue Jays in game 2. Mariners already up 3-0 in the first inning. Tonight, game 2, ALCS. Mariners 3, Blue Jays nothing in the first. The Dodgers will pitch Snell, who's been great for them, against Ashby for the Brewers. That game is at 8:08 first pitch. Dodgers-Brewers, first game of the NLCS. Okay, back to football. Back to football, kids. That covers our MLB fix for tonight. We'll get more into that later in the week. Looks like the Mariners are off to a hot start, and I apologize to the Mariner fans for not mentioning their heroics. I mean, that is pretty boss. 15 innings to close the deal, then travel, then win game 1 on the road. No one would have picked them to win that first game under those circumstances. Okay. Let's see here. We went over the Patriots. We went over Danny Dimes and the Colts. You know what? Let's look at Danny Dimes' numbers yesterday. Daniel Jones. Boy, Brissett had a gay, though. I'll tell you what. Kyler Murray probably couldn't have pulled this off. 2 touchdowns, 1 pick, 320 yards, 27 of 44 for Jacoby Brissett. And that's why the game was close. Brissett added a factor to the game that you just didn't envision. Daniel Jones, another efficient day, 22 of 30, 212 yards, 2 TDs. Jonathan Taylor ran crazy, 21 for 123. You know who continues to shine, too, is this tight end. This tight end for the freaking Colts is unbelievable. Ty Warren, 6 for 63, another touchdown. This kid might be the best. With Pittman and Warren and Taylor, they got weapons. I know that the Colts have not really played a tough schedule as of yet, but kudos to the Colts. Kudos to the Colts. All right, did we go over everything? Oh, no, not yet. There is one. Oh, okay, Steelers defeat the Browns 23-9. Another efficient day. Aaron Rodgers continues to hook up with DK Metcalf. That game was not exactly must-see TV. The Steelers did what they needed to do. They're now 4-1, and you control that division. I will say this. Cleveland Browns. Play Shedeur Sanders, okay? You couldn't do any worse. Dylan Gabriel threw the ball 52 times yesterday. 52 times. And he didn't even, you know, let's get his exact numbers. I'm going off the top of my head. Dylan Gabriel, 29 of 52. When you throw the ball 52 times and you only have 221 yards in passing, that is a dinky-dunky BS offensive approach, okay? No touchdowns. You're not getting the ball in the end zone. The kid's 0-2 as a starter. I'm sorry. He's the, Dylan Gabriel, he's got good accuracy, but he's 5'11". He doesn't have a big arm. Sanders has got the skill set and the tools. Okay, he could be a little bit of a knucklehead, I guess. I hear that he doesn't know the playbook as well. We know his personality is not that endearing. But you know what? His last name alone says he comes from the genetic gene pool of something. You got to let the guy play. Let the guy play. Let Shedeur Sanders play the rest of the season and see what you got. Because you know what? If you don't like what you got, you're going to have a chance in the draft to get somebody else because you're going to finish near the bottom. So you're going to have a high draft pick. So it's time for the Cleveland Browns to stop this, inner hazing of Shedeur Sanders and just let the freaking kid play. Let him play. Okay? All right, and another good watch yesterday. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers continue to impress. I mean, this team's got to be one of the best teams in the league. We're going to do a power rankings eventually, just like college has the AP top 10, top 20. We're going to do an NFL power rankings. I should have done one already, but everything's so darn unpredictable and changing week to week. I think I got a good handle on it now. I know one thing. The Buccaneers missing 3/5 of their offensive line, missing Bucky Irvin, missing Mike Evans. Even Chris Godwin couldn't go yesterday. And then you lose Ibuka in the second quarter to a hamstring. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Tez Johnson, another rookie burner they have. There was another kid. What the heck is it? Number 19 caught a touchdown pass. He's another kid with the last name Johnson. I'm forgetting his first name off the top of my head right now. But you plug in these 2 wide receivers. I mean, Tez Johnson had that amazing deep ball catch where he caught it on his fingertips. But Baker Mayfield is just, he's the MVP right now, as you heard the crowd chanting during the game. Baker Mayfield is the MVP. I mean, Mac Jones didn't even play bad. I mean, he threw for 347 yards, although he did throw 2 picks. And the Niners, of course, they lose Warner, their tight end, their famous, their fabulous all-star linebacker, to a broken ankle. Basically broke his ankle at the leg. Another injury for the Niners. Warner's out for the frickin' year. The Niners are just I don't know, they have a very physical style of play, but it seems every year the San Francisco 49ers are at the top of the injury report with their players always going down. Baker Mayfield, 17 of 23, 256, 2 touchdowns, no picks. He had an amazing 15-yard run. And Rachaad White steps in for Bucky Irving, has 17 carries for 65 yards. Just depth. The Bucs got depth. They got depth. Tampa Bay, not a surprise because most people did pick them to win the division, but as good as they played, a little bit of a surprise there in the on the west coast of Florida. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 5-1 now and in control of the NFC South. Last night we had the Kansas City Chiefs asserting their dominance over the Detroit Lions. Yes, I said it. The Chiefs, the last 4 games, they're 3-1. They look more and more like the Chiefs every week. Their offensive line has come together. They're now running the football. They're going to get Rashee Rice back next week. Mahomes is playing off the hook. The defense is always solid with McDuffie at corner and Jones at end. Listen, you wanted to count the Chiefs out, but they're figuring out. Even Kelsey is looking rejuvenated now. I mean, everything is seemingly clicking. Worthy's back healthy. Hollywood Brown is helped. Juju Smith-Schuster is always reliable. They're just putting it all together. And now they're going to get Rashee Rice back. Don't count out the Kansas City Chiefs. Sorry to tell you. Alrighty. We had some NHL games today. Being a holiday, we had some early games today. Tonight we got the Devils at the Blue Jackets, 7 p.m. The Florida Panthers are at the Flyers, 7 p.m. The Panthers are 3-0. The Blues are at the Canucks, 7:30. The LA Kings at the Minnesota Wild, 8 o'clock. The Utah Mammoth is at the winless Chicago Blackhawks, 8:30. Today at noon, the Avalanche defeated the Buffalo Sabres 3-1. I swear the Buffalo Sabres, they're like the New York Jets of hockey. They're just terrible. Terrible. Nathan McKinnon had 2 goals for the Avs as they rolled 3-1. The Lightning finally get off the schneid and get their first win of the season against a young, scrappy Bruins team who was 3-0. The Lightning win that one 4-3. That was earlier today. The Lightning got 2 goals from Anthony Cirelli. They got a goal from Yanni Gourde. And they got a goal from Holmberg, and they defeat the young Bruins 4-3. The New York Islanders lose again, 0-3. Another long year for the New York Islanders. 5-2 at home. This team's just pathetic. They're pathetic. I know they're rebuilding, but you know what? It's been a while. Ever since the Islanders made 2 runs to the conference finals and came within 1 game of the Stanley Cup with Barry Trotz. They held on to Lou Lamoriello too long. They held on to old players too long. And now you have these older guys with big contracts like Kyle Palmieri and Anders Lee and Peugeot. And they just got a lot of dead weight on their salary cap. These guys are good players that would be good on a talented team that needed maybe some role players and some veteran leadership, but they're not guys that could carry a young team with, with minimal talent. And yes, there's some promising talent, but the Islanders' best player, Matty Barzal, is just coming off an injury. It's not good on Long Island. Tickets will be cheap, and there'll be plenty of room available. Nashville beats Ottawa today 4-1. The Preds defeat the Sens 4-1. And the Red Wings defeat the already struggling Toronto Maple Leafs 3-2. Toronto is now 1-2, and Detroit improves to 2-1. That is our little hockey recap for today. We're going to look at tonight's NFL games. We've got the Buffalo Bills at the Atlanta Falcons. Buffalo is a 4.5-point choice coming off of their loss to the Patriots last week. Will the Bills be a little ornery? Well, we shall see. One would think they'd be pretty focused on getting back in the win column. So that game kicks off at 7:15. The NFL going for the Monday night doubleheader again, as we also have at 8:15 the Chicago Bears and Caleb Williams at the Washington Commanders. You know what? I got to tell you what. This is a good watch. You get to see Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams, two young QBs drafted in the same round. Some people think that, Caleb Williams, who was the first pick, maybe he wasn't the best guy. I don't think he was. I think Jaden Daniels was the best QB in that draft. Or you can argue Drake May was the best QB in that draft. You can make an argument it wasn't Caleb Williams. Honestly, I think all three of those guys I just mentioned are great and will be great. But an interesting battle between these two young QBs tonight. The Commanders are a 5.5-point favorite at home. Washington minus 5.5 over the visiting Chicago Bears. Again, the Falcons are hosting the Buffalo Bills. The Bills are a 4.5-point choice. We went 2-3. We are now under 500 in the NFL. Yeesh. Under 500 in the NFL this year. 21 up and 23 down. 21 and 23. We are 14-11-1. 14-11-1 in college. We are going to actually, I'm going to tell you one thing. I do like the Bills and Washington, the Commanders, to win tonight. I like them both to win outright. The money line is like 2-1 on the Washington game and 2.5-1 on the Buffalo game. I'm taking both of them, and I'm going to parlay the two of them in a money line, which brings it down to plus 105. I'm taking those two plays tonight. I'm taking the two with the money line. I'm taking them in a money line parlay, so I guess that's 3 plays. And I am going to tease the Buffalo Bills and Washington, which would take Washington to plus 0.5 and the Bills to plus 1.5. I'm taking those plays tonight very smallly and responsibly on my FanDuel and DraftKings, which we fully endorse. It's 4 plays for 2 games. You know what, kids? It's not a perfect science. It's not a perfect science, but it is fun, and it's supposed to just be about fun. Never bet more than you could afford to lose. Never chase your losses, and always do all things, whether it be drinking alcohol, gambling, whatever, responsibly. Drinking coffee responsibly. Too much caffeine can make you irritable. Anyway, guys and gals and guys and my loyal listeners, I appreciate you. Don't forget to subscribe to the North American Sports Report on YouTube. We appreciate it. We want you to subscribe. Make sure you have your notifications turned on so you'll get notified every time I go on. Also, follow us at the North American Sports Report on Facebook. You can also, as you see there, scan on the bottom right, the QR code. Scan on the bottom right. And remember to subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook. And we'll keep the good content coming and the analysis and the up-to-date news. So we started off the show today. James Franklin fired. Oh, wait a second. Wait a second here. The Titans, about time. The Tennessee Titans have fired head coach Brian Callahan. The Tennessee Titans, you know what? I don't even think we mentioned that game. That's what a dud that game was. Yes, the Las Vegas Raiders defeated the Tennessee Titans 20-10 in one of the most unwatchable messes of the day yesterday. Cam Ward did not have a bad day, actually. My Miami Hurricane brethren. Cam was 26 of 38 for 222, 1-1. Nothing spectacular, but I mean, he don't got much to work with. And they have the worst run offense in the league. And that's going to change because Brian Callahan has been fired today. So that's another coach that bites the dust. So Brian Callahan is out as head coach of the Tennessee Titans. I don't know who's taking over. I'm sure they'll have an interim within staff. We'll update you on that tomorrow. And James Franklin is out as head coach of Penn State. That's it for tonight. That's it for tonight, guys. Thank you for tuning in as always. This is Billy DiNapoli on the North American Sports Report, and I will see you on the other side. Thanks. Good night. Enjoy the games. Enjoy the NFL tonight. Doubleheader.